Hi BookTube, it's Stephanie. So today I decided that I wanted to talk about some of the books that I got last year. Because even though I didn't read, at least for at least not finishing. Did I finish anything? Maybe once or twice, 2 books the last half of the year. I did buy books all of last year, and I never did a book haul. However, as it stands right now, I have over 150 new books from last year that I have not read. I will not talk about 150 books today. And last week I should have had my TBR up. Did you know that if you have your computer continuously on for 3 weeks, it might not like you trying to edit? That was interesting. So I doubt I might post it anyway, but whatever. Let's start talking about these books that I felt like talking about. So let's start with non-fiction, and I have 2 books that I would like to talk about. The first one is this one, Gifthistorien om dryckepulver och modiska uppståt by Ben Hubbard and forward by Sophie Hannah. Honestly, this is why I was intrigued by it. So the title in English is Poison, the history of poisons, powders and murderous practitioners. And yeah, I like books about poisons, what can I say? And also it has some really nice, well, both pictures, but also like portraiture. There we go. Like, that's belladonna. I thought it looked good, so I decided that I wanted to get it. Next I got a historical non-fiction, and that is Baltikums befrielse by Tobias Berglund and Niklas Seneteg. And this would translate to the liberation of the Balkans, or Balkans liberation. And this basically is about when, after the First World War, the countries of Estland, Lettland and Litauen, my brain, Estonia, I don't know what, Lithuania, what's the middle one? I don't remember one of them, but it's those 3 countries, and then they were invaded by the Soviet Union. So this is basically about their liberations. And yeah, I thought it was interesting because obviously they are pretty much neighboring countries straight across the Östersjön. So I felt like I should know some of that history because I am not really that good about it, especially not First World War. Second World War I know more about because that's what everyone is talking about and mostly referring to. But yeah, so I am looking forward to this one, and we'll see what I think about it. The next one was a gift a couple of years ago. Well, more than a year ago at least. Me and my bodybuilder friend decided that we were going to do these like book boxes inspired by a subscription box book, and we would give each other one. I lost like inspiration for mine in the middle, so like yeah, but she definitely was inspired by that, and I need to do better to next time. I have already picked up the book, so I just need to make sure things fit it. But she decided to give me The Sword of Kagan by M.L. Wang. This is a standalone, but I think there's a sequel coming out or a companion coming out because a Theonite War story. And I do think I've heard about that. But when this came out, it was a standalone and can be read as a standalone. And this is a very famous indie published book that's high on a lot of people's lists of best indie of all times. And she adored this book when she read it last year. And I actually do own this in ebook form, but me and ebooks, yeah. So I'm actually really happy that I have this as a physical copy, because since I have books on like ebook form, it's like buying them physically without have read them first feels weird. So I am really looking forward to getting to this. And yeah, we'll just see when it happens. But yeah, it's massive. It did not feel this scary when I had it in ebook form, so I'm like, uh-oh, what am I going to do? The next one I got because I don't really want to read horror, but I was just intrigued by this one. This is a Swedish YA book, Pestblommor by Mats Strandberg, and just look at this cover. I love it. The title would translate to okay. The title would translate to Plague Flowers, and this follows a pair of siblings who, after their mother dies in plague, they get sent off to live with an aunt outside of Stockholm, and secrets around in this castle that they end up in. And yeah, middle grade YA horror. I don't know. It does have some illustrations in it. Here we go. I knew there were some illustrations in it. And those are by Elin Sandström. And since we are talking about horror, let's go into some cozy horror. I just thought it sounded so much fun. The Book of Sag by Alec Hudson. This, like, yeah, this was described by someone on booktube that I can't find now. She had this list with cozy books and yeah, cozy horror, and I'm just, yeah, a Lovecraftian cozy fantasy. So I'm just going to read a blurb here because I can't really think about what to describe it as. What were the great old ones like before they were old? In the shadow of cosmic horrors, a newly birthed entity, Sogratz, must come to understand his true nature, learn how to wield his dreadful powers, and search for meaning in the mad spaces between the stars. Hopefully, he will also make some friends along the way. Yeah. It just sounded so much fun. The next one is a mystery fantasy, mystery, paranormal fantasy, urban fantasy. The Nightjar by Deborah Hewitt, and again, pretty cover. And this follows Alice, who has all her life been seeing these visions of birds, but one day a man named Crowley knocks on her door and tells her that she has been seeing nightjars, who are miraculous birds which guards our souls, and someone is after her. And then they run away to find out what to see. This is a duology, so I'm really hoping that I like this so that I can get the second book. But yeah, it just sounded nice. I like it. I like the description of it. Next, let's talk about a book that I saw all over my Twitter feed when it came out, and I have continued to see it pop up now and then, and that is The Crew by Sadir S. Samir. This is a Swedish Middle Eastern author, so he came when he was a kid to Sweden. So just that I thought was fun that something like that would pop up. So The Crew is about someone who has escaped his order of warrior monks, and yeah, I don't really, like, the synopsis doesn't but basically the main character works as a mercenary, and then something happens and they need to do something, obviously. But a lot of people who talked about this book that I saw talked about how fun it was, and I'm hoping that I will think it's fun as well. There we go. Next was a book that I found. Actually, it was just recommended to me on Amazon. And the title is just something that I needed to buy. A Troll Walks into a Bar by Douglas Lumsden. A noir urban fantasy novel. We are following a detective who stumbles upon this paranormal world and needs to solve a murder. It just... yes. And the last thing that I want to talk about in this video is technically 3 things, but they are single-handedly the most expensive thing that I bought last year, especially together. But that just happened when you buy indie comics. It hurts. Honestly, it's the shipping that hurts the most, because holy. But I got the 3 Rippaverse comics that are out. So we have Ism 1, Ism 2, and Alpha Core 1. I have not read these, and yes, they are still in the plastic, because as I said, single-handedly most expensive thing. One of these are the price as a expensive Swedish hardback. Yeah, but I can live with that because it's indie. It's the shipping that kills me. Like, the shipping was like added on a third more, and yeah, that hurt. But yeah, so these are all the comics that they have, comic issues that they have out, and yeah, I definitely hope that I like them. Yeah, but they are, as I said, an indie publish that they have had some great successes with this comic that they released. I think this one was released, the first Ism 1 was released this year, or maybe late last year, this year. Ism 1 was released either in the beginning of 2023 or at the end of 2022, but the other 2 definitely was released 23. But yeah, I'm just crossing my fingers that I will like them. But basically, if I remember correctly, because as I said, I'm not removed it from the plastic, so I can't see if there's actually any synopsis on them. But we have the main character who's basically retired but needs to join the fight again. Yeah, I'm really crossing my fingers that I will like them. So that was some of the books that I got last year that I just felt like talking about. But what are some of the books that you got last year that you are looking forward to read? And have you gotten or read any of these? What were your thoughts? Please tell me down below, and I'll see you next time. Bye!